Initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious. Ali is happy when Moors are happy. Vixens wink fake lashes trying to trap me. 40 days and nights battling the lower demons. This is not their land, hybrids can't be freemen. If this is not their land, who's the immigrant thinking they're sovereign? Imagination figment, recessive is their status, lacking pigment. Game for the Thanksgiving, but no commitment to indigenous Moors they conquered with Bibles. Signs in the vitals and signs in the cycles, only to strangle, embracing my rivals. Free national standards, not playing with the tribals. Each Moor is their own Christ, not disciples. Whether hands or thoughts, no worshiping idols. Always carry my Moorish Quran, no recitals. Everyone will not process ancients' arrivals. Initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious.
Innate mystic ability to show and prove a lesson, coupled with the agility to move you with the message, presence of divine mind to navigate you with a reference, urgent with a purpose, perfect. Emerging urban legends, real more is not a question or a choice or a preference. You are who you are, you should have the same obsession. Broke the same jewels to a dude, the corner, Jane and Western. What you reppin', all that effort, that direction, keep you separate in a world of blind sheep. I was born to be a shepherd, mind like an elephant. Got the paws of a leopard, means I'm wise and I'm strong. Crank you up like I'm a record, take you to the body shot. Correct your lines to true vector manifestations. Matter, energy, and mind, spirit men unsung. Trey Young dropping dimes until you tighten up. You catching splinters from the pine. Clean the clouds out your thoughts. That's what keep you in the bind.
Initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious.
We do it in the spirit of a prophet in Islam. We study the ancient manuscripts, Moorish Quran. Everything we do is halal, some haram. Know it sounds like the hook, but this is the song. When I see a brother, I greet him with salam. Want the whole truth about Hitler and Saddam. Devastated what you did in Vietnam. Out of the savannah, so they had to use bombs. It's been a few years, I read my Proverbs and Psalms. When I see my sisters, I tell them sit calm. It's your destiny, you hold it in your palm. Mr. Popularity never cared about the prom. One of life's great mysteries, young phenom. I am that I am, that's word to my mom. Move out the rough edges, eliminate the arms. Know what you're pledging, no Uncle Tom. Coming for our territory, take it back. Quam with that old time good spell, I wave my magic wand. Now I'm impressive vibration sound is on.
Don't give it away.
It's
Mars don't give it away. Yo, Mars don't give it away. Every time that I accelerate, they copy. I'm the master. Take my mother's and the father's great gift. Instead, great masterpiece for masters trying to masterpiece. This time I'm like a masterpiece. This law gon' give me the bread. Yo, Mars don't give it away. They play your life but try to take you. Can you count how many times I'll try and break you? Try to guide a great clue. Struggle size HU. Mind of my own with a great truth. I sip a little great juice while swerving on the state truth. While plotting my escape of they rules, they schools, they jewels. They couldn't help my shine like chemicals. I'm at the top of my class on the pedestal. I throw that letter to that's HB number 2. And keep my name out your mouth unless it's about the bread, my youth. Put to come up with the money that you run up when this chrome game turn up in my young guards aim and shoot with your lame excuse. Nah, never that. This a full force sound system, level that. Yo, you only talking fiat where your levels at. This is God body, show me where the devil at. I'll let you read what this life about. We the lawmakers, architects, and still they doubt. We keep it factual with math and science practical. They love to hate the natural. Pain with the gain, no clout. A little fame couldn't stray, I remain on route. I move mountains, earthquakes on speakers. Something off the counting these occurrences, they speechless. For the world, I'm the teacher. I'm sure like the beaches, keeping everything du jour. I'm the one with the features that they envy. We the reason that they seek us to take us out every season. So, Morris don't give it away. Morris don't give it away. Every time that I accelerate the copy, I'm the master. Take my mother's and the father's great, give me the state. Drake the masterpiece, the master's trying to masterpiece. This time I'm like a masterpiece, this law gon' get me the bread. Morris don't give it away. Morris don't give it away. Why am I in this?
Good. Good. Goddess outstanding, keeps order, she de jour. I thought Orisha Omega dated, she a more amongst the elite, but relate to the core. She command the fleet first to step on the shore. Snooze never sleep, won't hear me snore.
Hey yo, play me once, you'll never snake me twice. Break this smoke, you never save my life. Never rolling with that piece, so respect my life. Respect my life, yo. Morris don't give it away. Morris don't give it away. Every time that I accelerate the copy, I'm the master. Take my mother's and the father's great, give me the state. Drake the masterpiece, the master's trying to masterpiece. This time I'm like a masterpiece, this law gon' get me the bread. Morris don't give it away. Morris don't give it away. Respect my life, respect my life, respect my life, respect my life, respect my life. Never. Hello. ¿Cómo está? Hey. You know the PM studio, man. 7998 Premier Road. Yeah, go with it. Hello. Buenas noches. Why did I go to the end of the song for real?
Monday.com, the opposite of any work platform we tried in the past. We tried other work management platforms, not naming names.
Here we go. Raka! North Star! That way. And North Star's that way. Canaanland rules. Read off, we pay every day. Okay. Uplift the V, cause we all base. We enforce the law, and we obey. Forefathers from before and still today. Reading my Quran and my Torah. Universal laws in more ways. Read 4 chapters, receive it 4 ways. Great divine love rules our verse. Before I circle blocks, man, I circle 7s first. You bust the image, but your rhymes hurt. Declare 13 disrespected earth. Love, but it's all in God's plan. Today's mathematics don't judge a man. Unity of life, embodiment of truth. I'm responsible for every deed, cause I seen the proof. No, but Drew X, do I have to draw it out for you? Cause nationality is not a color I can use. Jerry Spruce, standing on my square, even without shoes. On the highest authority, spirit of blue. Marcus Coffee, whirlwind times 2. The world's in the wind when the trumpet blew.
Stand up, go into your bathroom. If you got a big floor to ceiling, cut the light on and stand and take a good hard look at yourself. You are the Moorish government, you know, and it took me a long time to get to understand that concept. I self-law am master. If I can govern myself, if I can govern my household, that's what I should be doing. Why should I walk out of my door and then leave everything that I know about myself in the house to go out and adopt something that I have no knowledge thereof? No sense. So we need to stop asking that question. I ask myself this question: if not me, then who?
Death and and wisdom, my friends, intelligent creatures, guardians of sacred knowledge, Olmec features, secrets of the afterlife, manifest the present day. Dirty mortals and scoundrels lose their heads in a pleasant way. Deceit and deception, negative past thoughts, keeps awareness on point. Spirit messages never off. Inner realizations, encounter the higher selves. Next plane existence explains my consistence. Without a foe, you never know, so paths most resistant. Divinity, my twin flame, side chick and mistress. Metaphysic, Kabbalistic, Almaroc mystic. Patriarch, papistics, make my thoughts sadistic. So indigenous, call me Americanistic. Invoking the ancestors, Saracen cryptic. Suns on rotation, flows ecliptic. Shatter all illusions, reveal the realistic. Sitting in the dark, holding the light marvelous. Recognize the artifice, skin so carbonous, hair so antenna. I feel them from Vienna, myriad of virtues, lessons in reptilian henna. Enlightenment seekers won't find it in mainstream. Focus as a laser, stay balanced like a beam. Not even a gymnast. Whenever I flip this, as above, so below, get out when within this. Don't think I'm a slave, cause I speak in English. Drew, I'll leave the water, watch your flames get extinguished. Living in your higher, lower self is relinquished. Reputation of master teachers, call it distinguished. This is what it feels like. 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 People running up to me that I don't know. Are you a prince? They ask, tell them I'm from Morocco. Look me up and down with a smile, not a frown. Turn their brain to water, watch the lower self drown. Wanna touch my antennas and steal my energy. Eyes bulge, telling them I'm always King Edward V. When it comes to facts, with most they get beggarly. They ask Morocco where? The farthest northwesterly. With every question asked, I respond cleverly. All dependents won't explain expertly. Going in their wallet, pull out pictures with feathers, breaking down the ring, then the mason confesses. He's at 33 degrees, now the convo stretches like yoga into esoteric metaphysic lessons. When my people aren't like me, he impresses. When we take moral science to the highways and hedges. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like.
They tried to get you to think again. That's the profit. I'm upright, don't need a friend. And you can't stop this. I'ma write with my pen. Violate me and I'ma send writs again. Remain cautious, cause often it's in again. That's in the police out is the silence men. When they bust through your door, you won't breathe again. Nationality will show you how to live again.
This is what it feels like. 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 People running up to me that I don't know. Are you a prince? They ask, tell them I'm from Morocco. Look me up and down with a smile, not a frown. Turn their brain to water, watch the lower self drown. Wanna touch my antennas and steal my energy. Eyes bulge, telling them I'm always King Edward V. When it comes to facts, with most they get beggarly. They ask Morocco where? The farthest northwesterly. With every question asked, I respond cleverly. All dependents won't explain expertly. Going in their wallets, pull out pictures with feathers, breaking down the ring, then when the Mason confesses. He's at 33 degrees, now the combo stretches like yoga into esoteric metaphysic lessons. When my people aren't like me, he impresses. When we take more science to the highways and hedges, this is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like.
They tried to get you to think again. That's the profit. I'm upright, don't need a friend. And you can't stop this. I'ma write with my pen. Violate me and I'ma sentence again. Remain cautious, cause often it's in again. That's in the police out, just the silence men. When they bust through your door, you won't breathe again. Nationality will show you how to live again. It can change the predicament you're living in. You can heal the whole world without medicine. Only truth can make you a better man. Why lie? Cause you got paid to murder men. Then you try to lock them up when they riot in. That's okay, cause for freedom I'm diving in. With no knowledge you come back to die again. Resurrect me not, cause I'd rather be one with Allah.
This is what it feels like. 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 Islam honors to all Moors worldwide. Honors to Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Supreme honors to all the Moors in the chat. Welcome. We're here. Q&A Wednesday. There's the email at the bottom there. If you have questions, send. If you have questions, send your questions by email. I don't follow certain things. Right? Like I'm just out the loop when it comes to certain things. So one of the Moors, honest to the Moors that study, one of the Moors sent me this. You know YSL? You know YSL and Rico and Young Thug and whoever? Gang, whoever guys. Now I didn't get through all of them, but when I checked all these whoever's right here, all these are the YSL whoever's. Didn't certain people got out and stuff, didn't they? Certain people are probably still doing time, probably. You notice something? You notice anything? Anything standing out to you about this paperwork? This paperwork that was filed by the whoever King Abdul Mumin El of the Kingdom of Morocco. I got red flag, green 5-point star, and the kingdom does use that. But we know as Moors we're the empire. As Moors, we know we're the empire. Case number 22SC
182273. Then all of them are up there. So roll up. Claiming King, claiming U.S. Attorney General, claiming Moorish American, claiming how much things are you? How much things are you? No. If they know, so they know all this, that they're Moors and all that, all the YSL whoever's, they know about that. And if you're repping for them and repping with them, wearing dresses and all that type of stuff, then how come you're not going with, because your boy is YSL, obviously they know something. If they're going to get some king, whoever, to send paperwork for them for their RICO stuff. You just go check. You just go check for yourself. All right. So everybody knows. That's for everybody knows. That's not for these whoever's. Right? You know, we don't know these people. I don't know who they are. Because when you go look them up, they're talking about Morocco Empire, state, government, and all that. So if they're Morocco Empire, state government, and they're a kingdom of Morocco, and he's a king and a U.S. Attorney General, and everything else, there's something going on. There must be something going on. Because I don't know any King Abdul Mumin El. They didn't even make this public. How come they didn't make this public? This was filed 2023. Demand for change of venue for human trafficking. Moors by a human trafficking ring of State of Georgia Judge Ural Glanville and the attorneys of record for all Moorish American defendants. All Moorish American defendants. Why didn't they say Moroccan if they're Kingdom of Morocco and all that? Why are they saying Moorish American? Because that's the nationality. And all these, whoever you want to talk about, know that you can't do anything. Because Noble Drew Ali set the stage since the 1900s of who it is that we are. And that's the reference point of who it is that we are over here in the Americas. What's the nationality of the people? All the YSL whoever's. All the YSL whoever's know about their nationality, being Moorish American and all that. All of them. Just go look all their names up. All of them are a young whoever, a little whatever. All of them. Because I didn't go check all. I checked about 7. And 7 out of that many, then all these people must be the people. And they got their court pictures up there and all that. And you go online, you're going to be seeing them snitching on each other and all other types of madness. The point again is that all of them know about their Moorish nationality. They all know about their Moorish nationality. So whoever we thought knew, there's probably more than what we thought knew that know. And those are the people that are getting checked now. The people who know and they're not doing anything. They're sitting in the back with it. Or they use it for their own little selfish whatever, get out of there, whatever, and then they go back to doing their BS after. So all you people not doing anything. All you people. You look at me's, right? All these look at me's. Right, all of them. Playing games with you. Right? Anymore, making some big deal about having their Moorish appellation on some corporate instrument. If the stuff is in all caps, they're full of BS. Because strawman is all caps. And if you have your free national name in all caps, that's a fiction. So it doesn't even matter that it's on there because it's still a fiction. You went in a passport, and then you're saying, "This is my free national name's on it." That means I did something. It's in all caps. They're identifying a corporate person. No, it says Alabay. It's in all caps, just like the European name. That's in all caps that you say, oh, that's a strong man. That's not who I am because it's in all caps. The same thing with this. So you're telling me that you're the all caps LB? That's who you are? You're claiming all caps LB. That's what's going on? Well, are you? You're going to claim all caps LB as your identity? Free national name is not free if it's in all caps. That's a corporate name because that's a corporate instrument. Why wouldn't it be in all caps? It's a corporate instrument. It's a big deal. You got LB on an ID card, you think you did something. You feel like you got to put it out there. Look what we did. We got that. Playing around with you. Playing with you. And they're going to keep playing around. They're going to keep playing around. But this is how you know that the people aren't studied. People aren't studied. Because you know these people are fraud. Because if he's going to use divine constitution and bylaws and it's talking about partial on there, Well, of course they're going to be playing around like they're some type of authority or whatever, because they're partial to the USA. They're not free nationals of their own jurisdiction. They have some type of allegiance with the corpse, which is why they're going to promote it like they're doing something, because they put a free national name on some corporate instrument. Now, if you show me that it's not capitalized, it's not in all caps, and it's capitalized, now you're showing me something. So don't come and bring some straw man LB and try to play as if you did something. And then you're going to go quote divine constitution and bylaws, and you're talking about partial. So obviously you're in the jurisdiction of this said government, USA, not this said government, Moorish American government. So be careful out there. There's Moors out there wilding. Moors out there wilding. Don't get caught. Don't get caught. Because you're only playing yourself. That's why I don't get caught. Playing yourself. Knowingly or unknowingly. Knowingly or unknowingly. We already know. Q&A Wednesday. So let's see what we have in here. Let's see what's good. Honors to everybody who sends their questions. There's definitely been good ones. Around 99 right now, so it's been a good one. It's been a good run. You can just go back to the playlist if you want to check the back issues. So the first one, question. Earth, round or flat? So when we came into this, probably mid to late 90s. Mid to late 90s, we're watching Ashra Kwesi. And he starts talking about the stuff that was stolen from our people, right? How they stole everything for everything that they got or whatever. And in watching him and him talking about these different eras with this information being stolen, I got into a little bit, just a sliver of the Moors and what they had brought to Europe and whatever. And they were talking about the mindset of the Europeans during the time when the Moors were ruling. And it wasn't until probably, so that was mid-90s, so that was like the first touch of the Moorish stuff. And then 2008, 9 times now, watching the old Taj ones and stuff like that, and he's making reference to that same time period and how the Europeans didn't want to go in the water. One, because some bathing thing that in their system, right? That's why the whole body deodorant stuff that they got going on right now is crazy. That's for people who don't want to go in the water, right? But that's another thing. So we talk about Europeans not wanting to go in the water because the whole octopus and whales and whatever like that taking their ships down and whatever had them in fear. And then the other thing they were in fear of before they got the courage, right, before they stole everything. I remember going back to the whole stealing of the culture that they talked about, stealing from all these places, and then there was never any talk about all the stuff that was stolen from the Moors during the Spanish Inquisition, right? So they stole all the stuff from the Moors, and that's when they got the maps. Because finally, they're able to know that there's something past that line. Because of them thinking they're going to fall off the edge because they thought that it was a flat thing. Now, I don't know what is outside Earth. I've never been there. I've only been on Earth. That's all. So nothing else is really relevant as far as I'm concerned, because I'm not even out there to know what it is. Right. So in learn from those perspectives, the flat really came from, that's the Europeans thinking, right? That stuff's flat, and if you get to the end, you're going to fall off the edge or whatever because stuff is flat. That's not how it goes, though. Right? However far you go, you're going to bump into land. When you bump into land, then you see where you go from there. But you're not just going to keep going and then go off some edge. Right? So in the idea of, like how we say on the earth plane, an open field or whatever like that, valley and mountains and whatever, I can see it as that just going forever. And then you get to water, and then you get to land again, and then you keep going, and then you're either going to get into more land or you get into more water. But that makes more sense. Now, ice walls and all that stuff, because I don't know, because, if we're talking there's a sun and all that stuff, then, it's not going to really be like that in the south unless it's in the high regions. So certain things make sense. You talk to the pilots, and the pilots are talking about, well, yeah, it's actually flat or whatever. You're not really going around anything, and they're talking about the spinning ball and all that stuff, and how come everything's not spinning? There's certain things. You know, certain ones that people even thought about. Hey, hold on a second. How come we can see the sun and the moon at the same time? If that's supposed to be blocking, because we're not supposed to be able to see that with the sun, because the sun's back there, and then right. So certain things, you know, the round thing is now. If we look at it like a snow globe, you know, that's a sphere. That's not flat. If you're counting the firmament and all that stuff, then that's not flat. So it's all part of the division tactics, you know, because they always have to have the God and the devil, you know. So, but I never left Earth. I never cared, or whatever, you know. Like I feel the heat from the sun to know that it's real. I feel the breeze to know that it's real. I have at least some of my ancient foremothers and forefathers' teachings that wasn't touched by Europeans to know, you know, how certain things are as far as the, you know, the reality, the existence. But I always learned that it's the Europeans who said the stuff was flat. So as soon as people started talking about it and all that stuff, I'm like, oh yeah, here they go. Here they go. Because it would definitely, you know, with new age and access to information being a little bit more available in this time than before, then yeah, you might find out some stuff that'll shock you. You just might. So round or flat question mark? That's exactly because you know, like I said, we can go out there and this stuff is a pyramid or something. We can go out and look and it's who knows. Who knows? Because if there's hills and valleys, then it's not flat. So the flat is out the way automatically because there's hills and valleys and all that stuff. So stuff can't. If you're saying that it's flat, that's an error. You can't say flat because stuff's not flat if there's hills and valleys. There's craters, sinkholes, and all this. Stuff is not flat. And then, like I say, it's not a ball. Not a ball, and they're sitting on the balls, the ball's spinning and all that stuff. That, you know, it's not. It's definitely not that either. But whatever it is, I know that man is spirit, not the flesh, and that if you're really caught up on the outside stuff like that, then you really don't got it figured out. It's really about the within. That really isn't going to change anything. If y'all found out, yeah, actually, yeah, it's flat. Somebody went and they went live from the stuff. Yeah, stuff's flat. Here at the wall or whatever the hell it is, because they got drone and all that stuff. They can't figure this stuff out. If you find out that everybody has to agree that the stuff is flat, you know what's happening tomorrow? Everybody's going to be going right back to doing the same stuff they were just doing. It's not going to be a woke moment for the world or whatever like that. They're long past that. So certain things, don't even give it your space. Don't even give it your time. That is when they say it's a revolving door, because you're always going to get to that point, and then the other side is going to have a point. Then you're going to get to that point, and then the other side, it's a revolving door. Learn the truth about your nationality and birthrights, because whether Earth's flat, square, whatever, you got to know that. Or it would be more in your interest to know that. If you need anything more, just send a question again. Peace and love, Grand Sheik. Here are a few questions we have this week. What are some of the modern day names of our kingdoms? The modern day names of the kingdoms were supposed to be based on the temple setup. So all those different jurisdictions that had temples, those temples were going to be the state or the kingdom or the whatever of the Moorish Empire. That's why we had governors and secretaries and treasurers and all that, because it was government, our own government, with our own head. We had our own president and founder. We had our own flag, everything that all the other nations have. We had our own landmass. So there's no modern day kingdom names for the Moors. Everything's ancient when it comes to the Moors. The ancients returned are what the names of our kingdoms will be, because we're under the empire. This is the importance of what it is that Noble Drew Ali was doing. The idea that majority of people have is religious corporation. And then they'll say, like the church and, like the mosque, and they'll start talking religious, whatever, right? Chicago being the new Mecca, how or what it should be parallel to is the Vatican. When you talk about Noble Drew Ali and Moorish Science Temple and all that. Because look at what and how that was established, the Vatican. And the position that the Pope's in, right, which would be the position of the prophet, as far as in our side. And then everything that it is that they have, and they would be doing for their European, same thing that we're doing for the Moors. So the idea of the how they have the provinces and the states and the cities and right, that's the Grand Major Temple, and then the subordinate temples and branch temples. All these are different jurisdictions. So you have, and then you have, from, Grand Sheik, Assistant Grand Sheik, and all that down, all the different positions that people are looking at it as this is some religious whatever. No, it was government. And that's us being ourselves, governing ourselves, and using what it is that Noble Drew Ali brought for us to be able to exercise it, not just be talking about it. But majority of people don't want to do it, Noble Drew Ali, because they have this warped perspective of what it is that he brought. And he even told them there's been lots of confusion as to what it is that I brought. Because if they went and researched and studied, they would realize what it is that he brought. He brought us government so we can govern ourselves. The same stuff that we're complaining about that we don't have. The ability to do for self. How are you going to do yourself, first of all, if you don't have a nationality? So all the different place names that we would have adopted. But Chicago is going to be Mecca. So then we would have been saying Mecca today instead of Chicago, because everybody would have got onto that, because the Moors would have been the ones ruling. And that's how the quote unquote kingdoms would have been established. So that today we would be saying, oh yeah, whatever the kingdom is, opposed to what we're calling it now based on colonization. So there's no modern names like that. Question 2. Can you elaborate on the history of the turtle calendar? That's a new one. I never heard of no turtle calendar before. Turtle calendar. I never heard that one. So there's a couple references. So it's coming down to is the turtle calendar is the lunar calendar. And the lunar calendar is using the moon. So based on the moon, you're saying 28 days. And then if you use 28 days, then you have 13 months instead of 12. So instead of the 12 months using the sun, you have 13 using the moon. And then going back to the thing with the flat and the stuff, Because if they're basing it on the moon going around the Earth, you're talking about universe and planets. You're talking about ether. You're talking about all these different elements. Just dealing with that. Now, does the flat or the round matter? If the moon's going around and the sun's not going around, or is the sun going around? Just like we go with the days or with the years. It's not 2025. It's not 14 something either. This stuff's been around millions of years, and there's been calendars before these ones that we're using. And the calendars are ancient. Calendars is not some new idea. So the 13 spots on the back of the turtle are supposed to represent the 13 months. And the 13 months is through the lunar calendar. And the lunar calendar, like February, is 28 days. And then with 28 days, you have 13 months. And the 13th month has whatever name that it has outside of the 12 that we all know. So you're gonna find in your studies that there's a lot of synonymous words. There's a lot. So the presentation should be standard. The standard presentation of talking about the calendars is lunar solar. As soon as you start talking about, the bear calendar and the whatever like that, you know that, it's a synonym for one of the two. So that way you don't get lost. So certain things you might hear, hey, well, I heard that before, or that seems similar to something that I heard before, because they're just using a different word. And all that is our stuff too. All that is our science. And again, the science is ancient. It's not some modern thing. It's ancient. Question 3. Can you tell us the history behind the Statue of the Republic in Mecca, so-called Chicago? Let's see, that's another one. It's another one I never heard before. Let's see. Images. Statue of the Republic. Public Art Archive. Well, let's see. Let's put this up. Release Morris. I never heard of no Statue of the Republic in Chicago. I might have heard it and it didn't even register. It's a good one, though. Let's see. Well, part of it says it comes from the 1893 World's Fair. The 1893 World's Fair. And it's supposed to symbolize national unity for Illinois' statehood centennial. So the statue was intended to embody national unity, a powerful sentiment following the Chicago World's Fair. The original 65-foot statue was a dominant feature at the fair's Court of Honor, which has major landmark in American architectural history. So that's the Columbian Exposition. They had it at that. For the Illinois State Centennial, the permanent replica was installed to mark the 100th anniversary of Illinois becoming a state. The original statue was gilded bronze and it was destroyed by a fire. So it's been around, but it's symbolizing national unity. 1893. The statue's right hand holds a globe on which an eagle is perched with wings spread. The other hand grasps a staff with a plaque that reads Liberty, partly obscured by an encircling laurel wreath. The original at the exposition had a Phrygian cap on top of the staff. It was only partly gilded, no gold on the exposed skin of the head, neck, or arms, but the replica is completely gilded. So originally, they had the soft fez, like on top the coconut tree and the Haiti flag and the Cuba coat of arms and whoever else in South America that uses it. Remember when we were talking about it in class with the floppy fez? So before, the original of this had the floppy fez on top, the staff. And I suppose, why would they remove the floppy fez? Because they're free now, so they don't need to have it up there. And it's a replica, so they get to also hide the history. That part of it had the floppy fez. Right. All right. So yeah, and there's probably more info out there on it, on the actual statue. Yeah, you can go down the rabbit hole on that. Somebody has, and then you just use um mystical meaning or esoteric meaning or symbolic meaning of the Statue of the Republic, Chicago, and you'll find some blog or something with people who've written about it. Question 4: We had read some books on the Grand Canyon, but never learned about Shiva Temple, Isis Temple, Cheops Pyramid in school, and the fact that it's heavily regulated among the Grand Canyon. What have you discovered during your studies on why they want to keep the public away? Majority of it is that it reveals that over here is also Africa, and over here is also Egypt, and over here is also everywhere that they have over there was also over here. Right? So they keep it hidden. They keep it closed off. I mean, even though different researchers, whether it's archaeologists or historians or whatever, all come up to the same place, that there's a connection between over here and over there that they don't want to make this connection. Because they make the connection, then it's the end of their time of confusion and lies and deception. So if you knew that there's a Shiva temple over here and there's an Isis temple here, right? Shiva's supposed to be from over there, Isis is supposed to be from over there, then why they have stuff here for? Unless they were here too. And if they were here too, then goes back again to the thing, then definitely calendar's wrong. Somebody's trying to buy time. So in all the books that I research, the different articles, more so articles than books, because you're gonna find. I know Smithsonian had some, and Library of Congress had some articles, because there was a time where in newsprint they're telling you what it is. There wasn't the there wasn't the idea of yellow journalism or messed up journalism when print first started. Like newsprint and magazine print. There was a lot of truth being told because it was new. So it wasn't regulated. So there's a lot of truth in some older articles and stuff like that would tell you certain things. So that's just expanding the research, to more than books. So go check research on articles about Grand Canyon, essays about Grand Canyon, and see how much stuff pops up. And then if those whatever literature you find, they're going to have some reference points as far as books as well that you can check. But it's not necessarily about the what's in the Grand Canyon. It's the truth. The truth about the Grand Canyon is what they're hiding. Because they just want you to think it's landscape, that was so beautiful, and that and then you just go home and that's it. But if you knew that was Egypt, if you knew that one time there was water there, it makes this whole thing different now. You do research on the times when water was in the Grand Canyon. You realize certain places weren't always desert. It gives a different perspective. Makes you look at things differently. Mm. Anything they're doing to keep the public away from something, that's probably where you want to be going. If they're saying don't, there might be something there. So here you go. That's good. So you can actually, what's the best way to do this? Oh yeah. Let's see if this works. All right. So here's one. So Moore just did a research and then he just pulled one up, right? So this is how you're gonna find the stuff. Right? Just don't be afraid to just look it up. Right? So this is what they found in their research. This is their research right now. Pyramids of the Grand Canyon. Its off-limit areas and Egyptian relics. In a restricted area of the Grand Canyon, there are pyramids, caves full of hieroglyphics, Egyptian relics. Many people do not know about them, and this information has been suppressed by the federal government for about a century. Some photos have been supplied for information purposes. Examples of relics are not from or at Grand Canyon discovery. Isis Temple of the Grand Canyon. Right, so if in your research you would found this, for example, right? Then your next thing would be, okay, Smithsonian Institute, Grand Canyon. See what comes up. John Wesley Powell, essays on the Grand Canyon, or whatever, Grand Canyon. Bureau of Ethnology, Grand Canyon. And just see what pops up. There's so much information out there. A lot of information out there. All right. There's a lot. Definitely a lot. And I mean, like a lot to the point where, you know, you're just going to be overwhelmed. It's just going to be so much, you know, not a negative overwhelmed. You know, you're going to be filled up with info. It's just going to be so much that you find once you do the research. Once you do the research, that's all. Do the research. What you find, that's you. It's better that way too. When you find it out, when you find it out for yourself, that's when it really means something. But before that, you're you know. But that's good. Keep researching. See what other questions we have in here. Well, there's another thing, explorations in the Grand Canyon. The article. Explorations in the Grand Canyon. This one's a little, gonna have to do some work reading this one. But remarkable finds indicate ancient people migrated from Orient. Yeah, so there's a subject matter you can research. Explorations in the Grand Canyon and see what comes up. And how many different ones, and what was found. There's a lot out there. You'll definitely find some. A couple more. Do you think in our lifetime we will see oppression, if not all the way, but high percentage done away with? Well, I haven't. I realize that the oppressive nature of the beast is really on those who are taking that uncivilized status position. And then once I got myself out of that status, like the oppression hasn't been orchestrated on me as far as the physical. Now there might be financial oppression. There might be environmental oppression. You know, that's just what we have to deal with. But as far as the personal oppression, you know, that pressure, that whatever you used to feel being in that dead status. You're always being attacked. People are always looking at you. It's always, you're always the problem. You know, all that's eliminated once you have nationality. And then you start realizing that things that people say are oppression aren't oppression most of the time. It's them putting it on themselves. It's them putting oppression on themselves. It's not that somebody's oppressing them. You know? So as far as, you know, like my lifetime, I've seen them, you know, mess with Moors less in the physical. Like only if a Moor is doing some dumb stuff that these people are coming to bother him. But majority of Moors living their life by the principles and not engaging in certain things and being around certain things, the oppressive thing isn't even there. They don't even see it. They don't even know that exists. They're busy raising their family. They ain't got time for oppression. You know? Now, yeah, it exists with people in a certain status. Yeah, it's there. And you're not going to see the end of that. That's going to keep going on because they want to be in that dead status. So we're not going to see the end of that in our lifetime. Because they want to sleep. But then again, you go back to, you know, scriptures and all that with, you know, it's going to be only certain ones going to be saved. I mean, some of them are going down with the ship. Nothing personal. They just went down with the ship. You know, right. There has to be a time when you let go of what the beast gave you and embrace your own. You know, that has to happen. But it doesn't seem like our people are ready for that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because, you know, things like that are really, you know, states of being. And I know there's Moors who, once they proclaimed that there was no more oppression, they didn't have to take their license out anymore because these people stopped messing with them. Just because of the energy shift. They don't have to pull out cards and all that. Because they don't even see these people. Whereas before, they would be seeing them all the damn time. You know? Who were the Sumerians? Did they practice more science? Well, the foundation of the Sumerians is like a polytheism. So when you start talking about multiple gods and all that stuff, you know that there's one great God of the universe. We know that. We know that. Great God of the universe sent its prophets. We know that. I got an angel or two. You know, the ancestors are tied to that supreme being. Different deities. We know that the deities are, connected with the celestial forces. Just like all the cultures. Like when they say Enlil and Enki, right? One is water, one is wind. That's the ancient teachings, that the deities are the elements. That's universal. So all the cultures are based in what we would call today more science. That's what we would call it today. All these different lessons, all these different teachings are the culmination of all of them is more science. When it becomes scattered, that's where you get all the religions and groups and whatever that you have right now. But you put all their stuff together, you're all saying the same thing. It's more science. So people want to find where the Sumerian, where the Sumerians use the word more. Well, they never said more. They're Sumerian. What do you mean they never said the word more? No, it says Sumerian. It's M-E-R. M-E-R is more. Mer is more. M-R is more. No, M-R is Mr. M-R is more. M-I-S-T-E-R is Mr. M-R is more. So yeah, it's all more science. It's all ours. It's definitely all ours. So we were supposed to honor our foremothers and forefathers and all that. So, honoring them, foremothers and forefathers, we're supposed to honor them. Supreme honors to all the Moors worldwide. And honors to all the supporters. 1-0 so far. The girls got their win today. Probably about a 20-point win. Played sloppy though. We got work to do. But won by 20. So 1-0. It's on the road to the repeat for the girls. So keep your Moors posted. Honors to all the Moors worldwide. Honors to our Prophet, Noble Juali. Honors to all the chat muftis and all the Moors in the chat. Supreme honors to you. Honors to our Prophet. He gets all the honors. Juali gets it all. Oh yeah, it's also forgot. Also forgot. Where is it? Oh yeah. Hold on. Let me get this thing quick. So we're getting on the road again. For any more is near Ottawa. Any more is near Ottawa. We're going to be near you, Moors. We're going to be at the Link Up Center, 430 Rideau Street, October 25th, 1 p.m. So we'll see you there. There's the contact info, 613-700-2722. October 25th, for all the Moors near Ottawa, surrounding areas, 430 Rideau Street at the Link Up Center. Honors to the Moors near Ottawa putting in their work. And again, honors to all Moors worldwide. Supreme love and peace. Islam.